Okay, let's drink some wine on this lovely afternoon. Hi, everybody. I am Bryan Hinschberger.
And I'm Paul Hinschberger.
We are the Wine Brothers. Right here in our own backyard, with the sun is sort of shining, at least through the clouds.
It's just too lovely to film inside today, so we thought we'd come outside.
It is. And we've got a lovely little backdrop here, so I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can feel the love of the Pacific Northwest through this video. Today, we are going to be tasting wines from the Castilla y Leon region. So we're talking massive, autonomous community of Spain. Bon Vivant Imports, the company I work for, we import phenomenal wines from both Spain and from Italy. But this one is going to be from kind of right around the Rueda region. So Rueda, we bring in these wines. This is Alvarez y Diez. They are located right down, kind of smack in the middle, but a little bit west in Nava del Rey, which is kind of one of the most epic towns of Rueda as far as just rich culture and heritage of winemaking goes. So that's where they are located, but they actually source these grapes, family friend grapes that they find right outside of the actual boundaries of Rueda. What that does for this wine is it brings in less expensive fruit, so we can have a really, really value-driven line called Lanzos. We have a white and we have a red, a blanco and a tinto. So we're gonna check out these wines. Paul, big fan of Spanish wine in general.
Absolutely.
Whites always delicious. Reds, Tempranillos always tasty.
Absolutely.
So looking forward to this. Actually, we were talking about this earlier. Just these wines are really, really great for the money. So Paul, let's try this Blanco.
Yeah.
So this is Lanzos Blanco. This is half and half Sauvignon Blanc and Viura. This house has a lot of really, really cool history. The Alvarez and the Diez family came together back in 1941 and kind of joined forces, did a lot of things right within Rueda, a lot of wonderful Verdejo, Viura, Sauv Blanc, and lately they've been kind of branching out. They're still pretty small production, but they've been branching out and doing some fantastic other projects, Lanzos being one of those. So I hope that you can find these and enjoy them, but these wines are just killer. So half and half Sauv Blanc Viura. Paul, talk to me. What do you got here?
Definitely get the Sauvignon Blanc character out of it. So it's
absolutely.
Like grassy, grapefruit.
Lots of grapefruit. But also kind of like more a little bit of a tropical note.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the first things that came to my mind, and then now I'm analyzing the secondary.
Little secondary notes
Give me a chance.
little secondary fruits of like passion fruit, some pineapple, some definite green apple. There's a lot of fruit in this nose, but like you said, Sauvignon Blanc kind of coming through with a little bit of that herbaceous, grassy note. But super fresh smelling. I'm absolutely loving this. The color's gorgeous. Kind of a nice pale straw, but definitely with some nice flecks of green and other pretty notes to it. So, what do you get on the palate here?
Really, I would say, out of most European wines, the nose and the palate don't always match up, but this follows through all the way. Really getting that grassy grapefruit note. Again, that's like really what's prominent for me.
Yeah, but wonderful acidity.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, really bright fruits. Actually, this is tasting really great. In fact, this is kind of what I always think about this wine too. Is, killer value. This probably both these wines sit on a shelf for about $11 is all. $11, slap this down on a table with a nice fresh salad, a little bit of a manchego cheese shredded on top. Absolutely gorgeous little wine. Pilar Garcia is the winemaker here, and doing just wicked work. And with all their wines, Alvarez y Diez, their flagship 100% Verdejo is beautiful Verdejo. And Pilar, I think, is just doing wonderful value wine, bringing in the fruit and really doing an expressive job with it.
Absolutely.
You digging on it?
Oh, I love it.
Rate it. What do you think this is worth on the grand, wonderful scheme of putting points to wine?
I'm gonna do kind of an untraditional rating here.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go
That's so good.
20 out of 20 for comparing right up against Sancerre and New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs, and being right up there with the quality and the
half the price.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, maybe not of all those, but yeah.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what's your other part of it?
That was it.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
Untraditional, wonderful. Okay. I would agree. Absolutely fresh, really, really nice example, and pretty killer. Throw this on any wine list, and I think everyone would be happy. Lots of good fruit.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the red. Yeah, can't do that in my house. Did you see me?
No.
I threw it. So, moving on to the Tinto. This is the Lanzos Tinto. So this is 100% Tempranillo. Also completely unoaked. Very, very fresh. These are both 2009 vintage. Fresh out of bottle. Just screaming, delicious and bright. So, Lanzos, if you're noticing this really clever little packaging, there's 3 little lambs on here, and if you look deep in the eyes of these little lambs, they're a little crazy. I'm not sure if Tim Burton had some play with this label.
I heard that he had some.
Yeah, these are Tim Burton sheep right here. But the reason why I justify the sheep and why it's brilliant is this is the area of Tempranillo, and that Tempranillo goes perfectly with lamb. Really, really fantastic pairing. Mm-hmm. So that is the entire reason, I'm sure, why there's sheep on the bottles. Mm. Maybe not.
Maybe.
So
I don't know what Lanzos means, but maybe it's lamb.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably something logical, but I
probably.
think it's because it goes delicious with lamb. Mm. So Paul, talk to me about the nose on this. 100% Tempranillo.
Getting like pretty, not super ripe, but ripe plum, Bing cherry.
You know what it reminds me of a little bit is my grandma, our grandma, used to make us the most delicious chocolate cherry cake. Do you remember that cake?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay, so I'm not getting the chocolate.
wow.
I'm not getting the chocolate from this, but the cherries she used might have been those canned delicious sweet cherries, and she put it in there, and all that goopy goop, spread through the cake, and it was so delicious. So I'm not getting the chocolate, but I'm getting that cherry that's been influenced by that chocolate.
Okay.
You feel me?
No, but that's okay.
That's bringing up my memory, and I love my grandma too.
I love that cake as well.
Next time we see her, we should have her whip up one, and we'll try it with this Lanzos Tinto. So yeah, I agree with you. Definitely bright cherry.
Kind of that classic brambly note.
It definitely has
wine too.
absolute bramble.
Raspberry bramble.
Raspberry bramble.
Yeah.
A little jammy.
Yeah.
Very, very fresh. Paul, palate, you sipped it. What do you got? Almost a little stem inclusion too. Like it's kind of got that brambly note, almost a little bit stemmy, kind of like that whole cluster note that I often find in Pinot or different things. But I get a little bit of that on the nose. I like it.
Well, and I was mentioning the bramble on the palate.
The bramble on the palate.
Yes.
So keep going on the palate.
Taste, the same or differently than you.
Very fresh, delicious wine. I think actually this is for $11. This is a very, very clean and respectable juice.
For sure.
Perfectly quaffable, actually. And what I really like is I think that this would pair well with appetizers. Lighter fare. Tapas sure, but I'm kind of digging this red wine with a salad. This red wine with something simple, tomatoes, cheese, nothing too intense.
Right.
I wouldn't pair this up against some beefy steak or lamb.
You
but
could.
You could actually lamb you probably could do.
Yeah.
But it's not a huge tannic structure. This is pretty fresh.
Right.
Pretty fresh. Any other comments you have this before we should rate this bad boy?
No. Go ahead and rate it.
I'm gonna go a solid 45 points out of 46 points. Not quite perfect, but pretty damn close. This is a nice little wine, and what my rating scale is based on is kind of the catch-all red for anyone who needs something enjoyable, something that's just going to be light,
Influenced by oak.
uninfluenced by oak, just fresh. It's not super challenging, but it also isn't meant to be. This is meant to be really, really drinkable right now. So I think this is perfect for that, and right in line. I hope you all enjoyed this this little tasting through the wines right outside of Rueda in the Castilla y Leon region. And until next time, cheers. Thanks, everybody.